So on this screen we have Parmenion and his son. This is Parmenion from the movie Alexander. And what happened to him was Parmenion and his son Philotas were executed. That's not the pen.
Oh no,
Right,
here it is.
Should we just redo this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So Parmenion and his son Philotas were executed because Alexander thought they were traitors and they were plotting to take over his throne.
As you can see here, Alexander crossed the Indus River, and once he did this, he received help from the king of a city called Taxila, and their ruler, Taxiles, or Taxiles, spelled Taxiles, if you can't read my brilliant handwriting.
At the end, don't push stop because I'm going to get the next group to come.
He helped Alexander and his soldiers on one condition, that they would assist in attacking Taxiles' worst enemy, which was Porus. Porus. And Porus ruled the land between the Indus and another river called the Acisines. Acesines. So the two armies of Alex and Porus clashed in June of 326 BC, as seen here. And when they clashed, they stood at a stalemate for several days because Alexander was trying to overcome the biggest obstacle about the Persian army, which was that they had 200 elephants in their army. Now, Alexander was obviously outnumbered, as he usually was, but he could deal with the fact that he was outnumbered. But the 200 elephants presented a huge problem for him. And so, as seen in this map right here, we have Alexander's army on one side and the Persians on the other. What Alexander did is he set up a fake army along the edge of the river, and while that fake army was there, it attracted the Persian army to set up a counter army so that in case Alex decided to attack, they would be protected. But instead what Alex did is he led another army along here back to a shorter part of the river that he could cross easier with another army. Then what he did is he attacked the Persians from the side. Now, after Alex... Erase that. Now, once we get into the actual battle, Alexander came up with an excellent scheme to get rid of the elephants. What he did is he took his cavalry right here to counter the Persian cavalry over here. Then he had another part of the cavalry come around this small hill and attack this flank over here. Now, Alexander was very good with choosing his maps. He was good at choosing his battlefield, and he was able to hide his cavalry behind this small hill right here. Now, after this cavalry down here had done with this side of the Persian army, they came back and attacked the left flank of the Persians. This overwhelmed the Persians and caused them to back up against their own elephants. This caused great confusion amongst the army and disturbed the elephants, which caused them to collapse and cause extreme chaos amongst the ranks. Once this started to happen, Alex advanced his phalanxes to finish off the Persians. Now, after the battle, Alexander founded two cities, as seen in this map, right here. These two cities. One was called Alexandria Nicaea. That's N-I-C-E-A. No, Nicaea. and another one called Becaphala. Becaphala. Becaphala was to commemorate the loss of his horse, the legendary horse he rode, which died in this battle, and that's the one over here. Alexandria Nicaea, right there, commemorated the victory over the Persians.
As you can see, we're back on the screen that we had on earlier. Another one of the mutinies that Alexander encountered was when he incorporated 30,000 Persians into his army. His troops were angry, and they condemned his Persian manner and his acceptance of their culture. So Alexander arrested 13 of the leaders of the mutiny and had them executed. He then gave a speech and addressed the army and reminded them of their obligation to serve him. After 3 days of unease, the Macedonian army they accepted the Persians that were incorporated into his army.
At last, Alexander, on his way home, fell ill and died, and just as quickly as his empire came to power, it fell. He died on June 13th, 323 BC, and when he died, he left a power vacuum and a crumbling empire. It is really unsure what killed him, but there are several possible ideas of what killed him. One of the ideas is he contracted malaria while in India. Another one is that he suffered wounds, too many battle wounds, which left him weak. And the most significant one that I found was, as we know, Alexander loved to banquet, and this led to the idea that he died of alcohol poisoning. And this concludes our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay, so you're going to push stop. I'll do two different ones.